Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Lone Magic, the new format I created where I'll play a game of Magic trying to do up to 100 damage as quickly as possible, and you can play against me, pausing when it's your turn, and if you can do 100 points of damage to me faster than I can to you, you win. I'd love to hear your results. Write down in the comments below where you got to, how much damage you did, what deck you used. It'd be great to know. So today we are using an artifact deck and we'll jump straight in. And so the commander for this game is Brenor Battlehammer from the D&D set. Each creature you control gets +2/+0 for each equipment attached to it. You may pay 0 rather than the equip costs for the first equip ability you activate each turn. So obviously a lot of equipment within this deck, boosting all the creatures. Played is 0 cost ornithopter, flying 0/2. Now your turn. Right, and for my next turn, unfortunately, all I can do is play another land. So, no wild things going off just yet. So, back to your turn. Right, draw. Let's see if there's anything I can actually play. Unfortunately, deck is stacked against me. All I can do is put another land down. Okay, draw my next card. Put a land down. And tap mana to cast Broodkeeper. Whenever an aura becomes attached to Broodkeeper, put a 2/2 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. It has 1 red mana. This creature gets +1 until the end of turn. So within this deck there's also some aura synergies, and we'll see those later. Okay, for my next turn, as is normal, I draw, then untap. I have a little think. It's a lot of cards, but some of them not useful for this format. So we will cast our commander and do our first 2 points of damage with the Broodkeeper. Okay, with that done, your turn. Okay, and now next turn. First of all, we untap, and then we draw, and then we untap again. Obviously, correct order. Tap 2 and cast Kyoshi Battle Fan. When this equipment enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token, then attach this equipment to it. Equipped creature gets +1, +0, equip cost 2. Okay, so the first thing we do is create the 1/1 ally token that is attached to, but using Commander's 0 cost equip, we will put this onto the ornithopter. And because the equipment is attached to the ornithopter, not only does it get the +1 from the equipment, it also gets the +2 because it has equipment attached to it. And then we attack with everything. So doing some quick mental calculations, that adds up to 5 more damage, which means we're now up to 7 damage and the ball is rolling. Now for your turn. Okay, untap. Nearly did the draw before the untap, obviously. Untap. Draw. Contemplate. Edit out some contemplating time. Bloop. And all in attack is basically the only thing I've got left to do. So that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 5, and that's a 1. That's 11 in total, up to 18 damage. So start to speed up, and now on to your turn. And for my next turn, I will remember to untap first, and then draw my next card. Tapping 2 red and a white for Chariot of Victory. Equipped creature has first strike, trample, and haste. Equip 1. So obviously I don't need to pay that equip cost, and I will just attach it to the ornithopter. So even though the equipment doesn't actually give any inherent bonuses to power, the commander gives it a +2, taking the ornithopter up to a 5. So that's 5, 10, 1, and 2, making 13 damage. Right, up to your turn now. And now the drinking game of do I draw or do I untap? Oh, I untap. There we are. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing. Okay, draw a card. There's another mountain. Up to 5 mana now. I think I can start doing some good things. So, tapping everything for Observant Al-Said. It has Bestow 4. If you cast this card for its bestow cost, it's an aura spell with enchant creature. It becomes a creature again if not attached to a creature. Vigilance enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. So obviously we paid the 5 for the bestow costs, allowing us to enchant Broodkeeper. And as we remember, Broodkeeper has a trigger on it. If you attach an aura to it, create a 2/2 red dragon creature. And so we will do that once we have a rummage through the dice bag for a 2/2 creature. And then the only thing left to do is attack. So that's 5 damage, another 5 damage, 1 damage, and 4 damage, giving us 15 in total. Right, and for our next turn, we remember to untap all the things before we draw our card and edit out a lot of thinking time. To tap 2 red mana to cast Inferno Fist. Enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0. 1 red, sacrifice Inferno Fist, dealing 2 damage to target creature or player. Obviously we're attaching that to the Broodkeeper, and as we're doing so it allows us to create another 2/2 red dragon creature. After creating the creature, the next step is obviously to attack. So that's 6, 5, 5, 2, and 1 for a total of 19 damage. Okay, now we're well over halfway into your life total. I wonder what total you're up to against me. Maybe you've won already. Let me know down in the comments what turn you finished on, how much damage you did. Okay, another planes. Tap 3 of those, 5 of those, to cast Auxiliary Booster. When this equipment enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token and attach this equipment to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+2 and has flying equip 3. Obviously we ignore the equip 3 costs. That it creates a 2/2 and added it straight to the ornithopter. So that's my own mistake. So it adds 1, but by it being equipment and our commander, it adds another 2. So it's now up to an 8 damage ornithopter. And the only thing left to do is attack with 6 and 8. So that's 14. Another 5, 19, and 24 damage. And what is probably the final round? Let's untap all the stuff. And we can see what shenanigans this final round can bring. So untap and draw. Have a little thinky think. Then we tap 3 red mana and cast Twin Blades Flash. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains double strike until the end of turn. Equipped creature gets a +1/+1. Equip 2. Obviously we don't need to worry about that right now. So this puts the ornithopter up to 11 damage, and just for this turn it hits twice. So that's a 22 damage from the ornithopter, and everything on top is just gravy. Alright, let's add up the total. Okay, and now we are up to 122 damage, and 22 damage done by a 0-cost ornithopter, which is a lot of fun. Excellent. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Again, please let me know how you did in the comments below, and I'll see you again later.